For like emergency, if you only need to listen, earbuds.
All right.
Like, this is so simple. I don't know why everyone has problems all the time. Just get an iPhone and get some AirPods, and you'll send me money on Discord. Like, even if you use it just for your house, like, you don't even need to have a good iPhone or one even connected to a plan. You could just be using it on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's time for me to get a new phone.
No, I already know you probably don't leave your house for shit, do you, Grim?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got people who work, you know, and I take care of it. Not too much, no. I mean, I would go
that's
down
what I'm saying. I
city
can just
shit,
tell
yeah.
by your lifestyle, like, you're not leaving the house much. So get an iPhone and then just get some AirPods. You could probably get one of those shit prepaid iPhones. They're not shit, but they're prepaid iPhones from Walmart, or like, you don't even need to get $1,000 iPhone.
Oh no, that shit doesn't really matter. I just need a new phone anyway. I've always been frugal, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Because
balling now. It's time to spend a
I
few
still
bucks.
live like when I was younger. You know, kind of. I don't.
Nah, I know.
Like...
I know. I hear you. I do a lot of that shit too, still. But like, I cut my own hair and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, me too,
Spending
dude.
20. I can't tell you how much
Haircut.
money I've. Yeah, I can't tell you how much money I've saved on haircuts at the barbershop now. It's like $25. If you want to give them a tip, you got to give them a tip. So you're looking at $25. My hair is short. I need my shit done every 2 weeks. That's $50 a month over the past 20 years.
Dude. Yeah, screw that. That's a credit card payment. You don't have to owe anything on. You just get to make that money to yourself. Hmm. So how's everything, man?
It's all right. Shit's going good. My passive income's ticking in. I am trying to raise it a little bit, but huh?
You thinking about renting some pots and pans?
Nah, man. That's just totally, dude, that's totally inefficient. I could see, like,
yeah, but I'm the idiot for arguing against Jim about it. You know, I mean, literally. I mean, I just really can't stand the dude for no reason.
I mean, if you're gonna order pots and pans, you could probably just fucking get takeout for all that.
Yeah.
I feel like, you're borderline, like, why not just have them cook the whole shit and everything for you, and then now you got takeout, and you don't even have to worry about the pots and the pans.
Yeah.
If that's how we're gonna roll, if we're gonna roll
here's
at,
what
like,
my argument was. Here's what his argument was about. It was about that being the only option. And then he changed it into, no, what's wrong with if somebody wants to do and make some money? No, that's fine. No one ever argued that if someone wants to be an entrepreneur and start a business of renting pots and pans, that's fine. I don't care. They already do that. There's already a business. There's businesses that already do that. So but this was, I mean, no one's allowed to own pots and pans, and you all have to rent pots and pans. Was my fucking contingent. That's where I had a problem. You know, like, that's stupid to me. Because I was talking about
that's their future. That's the future we're coming up to. Where
I know.
The future we're coming up to, and it's honestly wouldn't be a bad thing if it was ran right. Like, okay, pots and pans is a little extreme, but let me put it to you this way: do we really need to make it so that we make 100 million jet skis a year when we could just put the jet skis at the lake and they're there? You know what I'm saying? Does everyone really need to own one? Like, we're not all using them at the same time. I mean, yes, a lot of them get used at the same time in some spots, but, like, okay, how about this? Take what's something around the house that you don't really use that much? Like, say your lawnmower. What do you mow the lawn, like, once a week?
Yeah, just see, that's all that kind of shit. I like to have my own. This is the kind of shit people who don't have anything they want. Like, I already have
I
all
know,
that
just
shit,
as
and I don't want to give it away, and you know what I mean? Because I worked really hard for it, and I think I appreciate it more
no, I
too
hear that.
because of that.
I
Yeah.
hear that,
This,
but
you see how
honestly,
these
it'd be
people
way
treat
more
all these
efficient.
rental bikes and rental cars, and you know, they treat them like shit, and
Yeah, that's
it's just
true.
losing. I think it's about our humanity, honestly. To be able to appreciate something, there's got to be a certain amount of work you put into it normally. You know, I mean, it's been proven that you know you give little rich kids everything, and then they don't fucking appreciate it, and you know what I mean? And it's I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's a lot to do with human nature about us feeling like we earned it and that sense of pride and appreciation and everything. I don't see where you're gonna have that in this new rent everything unappreciable type, you know,
See, I'm not
reality.
with renting this shit though. See, the renting the thing isn't. That's not how it should be either. You shouldn't rent it. They should just be there. Like you need to just have, say count how many is the maximum amount of people you ever have at this lake at one time, busiest time of the year, and then you make sure you got like, say there's 100 people on jet skis in this one lake. That was the maximum amount they've ever had any year at one time. There was
Yeah, but
100
then 10,000
people riding
are going
jet
to
skis
show up when
actively.
they find out there's free jet skis. 10,000 people are going to show up at the lake though, right after they find out
That's
there's free
true.
jet skis at the lake.
That's true. That's a good point. Good point.
It gets messy, man. This giving away. As a kid, I thought it was a great idea because I mapped it all out. You know, I think all kids are communists at first because they don't, cause they, you know, mom and dad takes care of everything, and they don't understand a lot of stuff. God damn, I
That
got.
that that was actually a good point. That was actually a good point because I don't really ride jet skis that much because I don't have one. But if they were there and I could just go ride one and it wouldn't cost me anything, I would definitely bring me and the whole family to go ride them. So
Yeah.
yeah, now you're gonna need, because the people before are gonna be like, well, I had a jet ski and I could just go ride mine anytime I wanted to. Now I can't because there's no jet skis
Yeah.
left. You'd have to have like an insane amount of jet skis, like 1,000 times more than there was ever on the lake. And now the whole lake's you're not even gonna be able to ride jet skis because there's fucking jet skis everywhere.
Yes. There's just little things like that. I never really worked
Like the
out the
whole lake,
details when I
there's
was
no
younger. Yeah.
open water. It's just all jet skis and boats. People are gonna want boats too. The whole thing's full of jet skis and boats now, and any other fucking watercraft device people are gonna
Yeah.
want. Yeah, it's tough.
So you know, this system's pretty cool. There's, you know, but it's if it was, if it wasn't rigged the way it is, like everybody knows, this
Yeah,
office is rigged. Anybody knows that this shit is rigged.
it would
It
be
would
a
be
good system if people weren't like greedy like that. It'd be a good system, but we're like, I don't know, just there's a lot of people that are like just greedy, and it's like
well,
it's not a
you know,
problem unless it's a large scale greediness. Like now you have people, doing shit we shouldn't do for money on a large scale for money. So now money's a problem. You know what I mean?
right, exactly. I think that's, and as long as you can like give the individual the most freedom possible, that's the best system there's going to be, right?
Don't we all deserve to ride jet skis though?
We
Like, why do
do.
you get to ride a jet ski and I don't?
Well, because I put in 40 hours a week in my job and didn't buy crack.
Put in 40
You know what I
hours a
mean?
week at my job and I barely got to pay my bills.
Well, make a friend with a jet ski. Okay, come on over.
I
You know what I mean? Like,
feel you. I feel you.
I mean, that's what I ever had to do growing up, man. It was like, man, a friend. Oh, I had a friend with a Nintendo. I had a friend with an extra bicycle. I was just a broke little kid, you know.
I hear that.
Friends take care of you. Then when I had extra food, you know, they'd come over to my house and eat the welfare food.
Yeah.
Yep,
Eat some kaboom. Would you have that kaboom?
man, I had it all, dude. The cheese and
The
the
giant number 10 can of peanut butter.
yeah. Well, they gave us food stamps back then, so we could just go buy regular food with food stamps.
Oh yeah,
You know, kind of regular. You always had to. It was like some of the food you couldn't buy with food stamps. It was weird back then. It was like it was just the cheaper shit.
no, they still got it right
So,
now. Like you can buy Life, even though it's the same exact price. They won't let you buy Cinnamon Life cereal, but they will let you buy the regular Life cereal. It's like, yo, it's not even a different price. Why do you fuck care if I have cinnamon? If I don't like, I can't like cinnamon.
Right.
The plain life's
Well,
not even worth getting.
Well, I think there's.
I know
Health
somebody
benefits
that
to
used to
cinnamon.
go, huh?
There's health benefits to cinnamon, bro.
So they don't want you
I
healthy.
figured this
Yeah,
shit out,
I
man.
know
This
a friend.
welfare food, this stuff, it's the one that doesn't have the health benefits to it. It's all the foods with bullshit in them, man. The processed stuff, the worst cheese, the oil cheese, you know what I mean? Like
I wouldn't
everything's
doubt even. I
know?
wouldn't doubt even Life cereal isn't even good for you just because there's cinnamon in it. It's probably cinnamon sugar and just all kinds of bad shit. But
Absolutely.
I
What is it? Glyphosate. They spray all the wheat, and all the wheat is sprayed, bro. That's why it's like you got to be real careful what you eat these days, because man, I combined with all the other stuff, and really, I'm still not convinced it's not 5G radiation that are, because that's what we were talking about 10 years ago. We were talking about the Wi-Fi from our cell phone. I mean, from our routers and shit was causing sticky blood syndrome, which is exactly what it looks like COVID is. Sticky blood syndrome, where the oxygen can't be carried by the fucking hemoglobin, and
I've seen some blood
flattens out.
slides. Well, hold on. Let's not get into that because we're on
Where are we? Yeah, my bad.
we're on a live stream. No, it's all good. It's all good. I got to run now. I'll be here listening. If you want to talk to yourself,
No, I'm not
Gio's
gonna
like
do that.
lag. He's got no power. We were gonna have a show tonight.
I know Gio's got to get his power on back on, man. It sucks.
Ridiculous, bro. They stifled battery technology. I mean, I don't have no proof of this, but I know damn well that if I was selling $1 trillion worth of oil a year, and some guy was like, "Look, I have this thing. It's the size of a AA battery, and it can power your car for a week." I don't want that to come out at all. So,
Not until I owned every bit of it.
not
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And then maybe
don't know. You would never. You never want that
probably,
coming out because if
I
that
still
comes
gotta
out, now
sell my oil.
you
Yeah.
got to sell the oil. Yeah, you never want that coming out unless it's like
Well,
inevitable. Like,
you know what I think though? I think this oil thing is also a big scam, to where oil is not a finite. It's in a system that keeps on rebuilding itself.
I've heard
And not
people
only,
saying that those old oil wells are filling back up.
yeah, well, I have friends. Remember back in the day, I used to do the G Plus. I don't know if you knew me back then, but I have a friend, Lost Horizon, on YouTube, and she's actually a friend from G Plus before YouTube. But she used to be working as an executive in the oil field for Shell, the Shell company. And she said they've known about that since the 80s, that the wells fill themselves back up almost as fast as we can empty them out. Or in other words, they're not.
Adam, no.
It's only the little side pocket ones that get emptied out because they're not connected to these
Okay, don't
giant
mess with none of
reservoirs.
this stuff. Hey, don't mess with none of this stuff, please. Okay, there's your blankie. There's your little blankie. So let's not mess with none of the rest of this stuff, okay? What do you say?
Thank you. So there. Yeah, I don't know if this stuff is working anymore. Yeah, I've got old videos.
I'm gonna be bringing some laundry in, so
We're talking about that.
Take care of that plate for me.
Yeah,
and any dirty clothes you got in here. Thanks, bud.
I'm kidding. Sure, I got you, man. Throw it in the laundry basket. Yeah,
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize.
that's okay. But yeah, for the YouTube, the live stream, anyway, the shows I used to have and stuff, and she used to come on and talk about that, those oil wells filling themselves back up, and they've got this, because the ground's porous and it slowly seeps back through the rock kind of stuff. But she said no, not at those pressures. That's not definitely not the case. It's abiotic. And then I started looking into that abiotic, and it seems that inorganic materials can then make organic materials under certain, you know, electrochemical processes. So I did more research and found a lot of stuff about it. Dr. Anariba, Franklin Anariba or something like that. I can't remember, but he did some extensive research on Comet 67P. I know a lot of flat earthers don't believe in comets and stuff like that and whatever, but they found hydrocarbons and glycols and all kinds of stuff being produced in the coma, falling down to the surface and on the surface. So there's oil and, all kinds of organic proteins and material and stuff on this friggin' thing, and it's not, the oil isn't coming from the bones and decaying plant matter because there are none of those. It's abiotic. So interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna head out for a little while.
Hello? Hey, wasn't there supposed to be a show today?
Yeah, Geo lost power.
Lost power?
Yeah, he got like mad snow or something. Power went out. He can't even, he tried talking a few minutes ago. It was all fucking laggy.
Oh, man. Okie dokie.
Yeah, we're going to pick it up when he gets his shit back on, though, but.
Okay. That sounds all right. Hey, I asked a while back, and you'd mentioned that Brandon was taking a break. Like, has that situation changed? Has he made like a decision that he's not getting back on, or do you not know? Or
No, I don't know. He just hasn't messaged me back. I was like, hey, we need you back. Whatever. He hasn't. I sent him like random messages every like couple weeks or something, but he's just not hitting me back.
not responding. All right. Well, hopefully things aren't going really bad for him or something. I hope he isn't like, feeling bad or having stuff happen to him because he's doing this or was doing this.
What's up? No, I don't know why he decided to take a break or whatever, but
yeah, no, I'm just hoping that it's not like super negative stuff that he's just like he like took a maybe he just kind of felt relaxed for a while and realized like not doing the show was relaxing, and so he kind of decided to sit with that for a little bit, and then maybe he'll refresh and recharge and come back later.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Because, I mean, yeah, we're doing a show here, but, like, if Brandon comes back, I mean, he can have his, like, time slot back. I was even talking to Gio about maybe changing the time that it's on now or whatever, so we'll see. But, I mean, either way, if Brandon comes back, obviously, I don't think we'd keep the show going on his time.
Yeah.
That's what people love to do. They love to, like, jump from show to show, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Like, generally, Rumpus won't even get involved unless there's a show going.
Well, Rumpus, I'm aware. Like it seems like he's got something where maybe he likes to be heard. Specifically, I think he might enjoy being heard. I don't know if maybe he doesn't get a lot of that in his own like real life. Like he doesn't get heard a lot by people. I don't know, but it seems like he's kind of a bit of an attention seeker or something. So he makes sense.
I'm putting the pillows in the wrong pillowcases. You know what? That's just what men do. It doesn't matter.
Don't drag me into this. What are you talking about?
I'm making a bed. No, I'm like Bob said, it doesn't matter. And
no. This man puts the right pillows in the right pillow. No. Actually, no, I probably don't. I'll shove the ones that I want in there. That'll be that. Get over it.
What we need to do is just get all the same pillows. Then it's not an issue.
Well, but then you got
all the same pillowcases.
You got to make sure that they're all the good ones. So, see, that's the thing. So you buy some, and then you buy some more, and like there's the good ones, the nice ones, and there's the ones that you don't really necessarily want to use. You just got to make sure you get all the good ones.
That's you know what I did one time? I was so pissed. I went to Walmart, bought a pillowcase. I was like, all right, I'll get this good one. So pillow inside the good pillow, like for some reason they're like easily removable in the store. Because when I went back to get another pillow, because that one sucked, I was like, oh yeah, you can just pop these in and out at will.
Oh.
And
so they like swapped them or something.
So yeah, pay attention when you buy pillows. Yeah, oh yeah, somebody put a fucking $20 pillow inside a $10 fucking pillowcase. The wrapper or whatever.
Right. Oh man.
Huge.
You go to Walmart to buy a pillow, you get home and it's just a pillowcase stuffed with dirty diapers or something.
Yeah, right. Like that's basically that's pretty much it.
Maybe not.
You think they can make a pillow that would just last by now? I mean, there's obviously no money in that, but
yeah, I mean, like supposedly light bulbs could last forever. Like they don't have to go out, but they make them so that they do. From what I've heard, I don't know if that's true or not. But...
Yeah. That's true. It's called planned obsolescence. They actually started it. They actually started it with the light bulb. I mean, it might have been around a little bit before that, but they started getting heavy into it in the light bulb because they're like, well, we got to. If you're a light bulb company, you want as many light bulbs as possible being sold, which means you don't want them to last a long time. Obviously, the consumer wants them to last forever,
right?
So you have to find the producer has to make them last just long enough. Like when they're doing those quality control tests, they're not making sure it lasts, for mad long for you. They're making sure it fucking breaks.
It's got to break soon enough. They got to do it. They got to walk that line of it. It lasts short enough that you'll go buy more, but not so short that you'll start trying to come up with ideas on your own of how to fix the problem of them not lasting long enough. They don't want anyone else to solve that problem. They could solve that problem. They want you to be just comfortable enough to not.
And they can get away with it.
In solving it.
They get away with it easily because they're like, well, we make 1 billion of these things. If we can use 1 penny less worth of metal or 1 penny less worth of plastic on each part, that's fucking millions of dollars for us.
Yeah.
So they justify it like that. However, you're worried about like greenhouse gases or carbon emissions or something. This is literally the worst practice to do, because then after I throw my thing out, I got to drive to the store, buy another one. There needs to be a lady at a register ready to sell me another one. A stock boy had to stock another one.
Yeah.
Guy had to ship that one into the warehouse, into the store from a warehouse. Another guy had to ship one from wherever they shipped it in from to that warehouse. It had to be loaded on and off of boats from China or Mexico or whatever. Then people at that factory had to make the stuff. Then people had to mine the actual materials to even be able to make the stuff. And then there's tons of shit in between all that, like all the trucks, the maintenance on the trucks and all kinds of This is literally the worst practice. If you added up the top 10 things that cause CO2 emissions, I bet it wouldn't come close, not even close to the trickle down effect that planned obsolescence causes as far as carbon emissions go. For real, bro. Not even close, dude.
They got to make their money somehow, though, Jeremy. Come on.
You know what else they say? They say Bitcoin is terrible for the environment. Many CO2 emissions. Yeah, but listen,
like crypto and the NFTs. They're all so bad for the environment.
Yeah, I mean, it does use a lot of it does use a lot of electricity. But if you had to add up all the buildings that get built for banks, right? So that's got to be a ton of CO2 emissions right there, all those buildings. Then you got to have maintenance on all those buildings. Like every bank, there's like 20 fucking banks in my city, at least in my little area, like 20 banks. So you had to buy all these buildings. You got to have maintenance on all these buildings. You got to heat and cool and give electricity to all these buildings. People need to drive to these buildings to go work every fucking day. I'm saying like the carbon emissions for that, and then you have other people. That's just one of that banks are just one aspect. You got like Loomis and Brinks trucks driving around all day collecting money and dropping money off.
Yeah,
you got the maintenance on those.
It's all based on the idea that we have some sort of upward limit to what we can handle or what we can do. When it's like we've never reached a limit. That's not a thing that's happened.
The way we do things isn't going to last, because I just saw yesterday on TikTok they have toilet bowls now where it like flips around, like there's like 2 toilet bowls. So like when you go use a public restroom, when you leave the stall, the toilet bowl will flip, will like do a half a rotation.
Yeah.
But on the other side there's another toilet bowl that has been cleaned, and on the other side of the wall it's getting cleaned and sanitized. And then they have that, and they have the way to sanitize the floors. And they have UV lights that can sanitize like the walls and shit. But they have right now a robot that can go into a public bathroom, clean the whole thing, and then leave, go get recharged, fill up on fluids, or release dirty fluids that it collected, and then it'll be ready to go back and clean it whenever it's scheduled or whatever. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, that's right now. So automation's gonna demolish the way that we think about money. Like, money's not gonna work when this automation shit hits, because you're gonna be able to automate like 80% of the stuff. And then what are you gonna do when you have all the driving automated, all the fast food restaurants automated, all the cleaning automated? You know, all these menial tasks are all automated. So now you know what happens if you get rid of 5 million Americans make money driving? I can't tell you how many make money with fast food chains.
Yeah.
It's got to be more than driving. Like, if Walmart ever got automated, forget about it.
Maybe that's
Walmart employs like 2% of the United States, or some insane amount of the United States.
Maybe that's why maybe that's why that message is like being pushed by some people. That crypto is so bad for the environment is because they don't want crypto. They want to try and somehow keep like regular money in play or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they've had a monopoly on the fiat currency for hundreds of years now. Just a straight up monopoly. Now other things are coming. It's like this crypto and the fiat is like Uber and taxis. Like, dude, it's time to move over because Uber's here. You know, it's time to move over because crypto's here. Your shit's old and busted and sucks.
Nice.
You know?
Old and busted and sucks.
For real, bro. Anyways, I'll be listening if anyone comes in.
Maybe not.
I've been trying to bring people into this arena because honestly, there's not a lot of people in it. There's like, you know, a couple hundred maybe. If you count us 24/7, few people at Brandon still, you know, Gems, like, what do you got? A few hundred people? 300, 400 tops? Like, I've been trying to like leave messages on TikTok, like in the comments, like, yo, come join us on Discord at Earth Awakenings, or, you know, we do a live show at Earth Awakenings on Discord, YouTube, like, check us out. Just trying to because there's mad people are interested in it, but like, where the fuck are they?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know if I would have even gotten into the live show just based on, like, thinking that the Earth is, like, not a ball all by itself. I don't know that I would have even gotten into it. The thing that really drew me to, like, Ranty's show to, like, want to, like, get in there and start saying some things was the bad arguments that people were making, like the logical inconsistencies, or them so I've pointed out some of the tricks that they try to use, you know, and explain, you know, here's the tricks that
I know you do great presentations.
Yeah, they say this thing, but what they're actually doing is this here, and so it sounds like this when it's actually this or whatever. Like they pull these tricks, and so that's what actually kind of drew me in. Was I wanted to get in here and start pointing out, no, that's a trick. No, that's a lie. No, that's not logical. Here's the actual logical steps, and here's the conclusion you come to. You know, stuff like that. So people could be seeing it and understanding, hey, actually, the Earth might not be a ball, and then, but they're not into the conversation part of it. They just accept that, and they're like, okay, yeah, actually, no, the Earth probably isn't a ball, and then they move on, maybe. Hopefully people are easily coming to that conclusion. It's really not difficult once you're starting to look for what is my reality. I don't think it's a hard conclusion to even reach. If you're being honest, like if you're not like specifically trying to get to a conclusion that you already want, and you're just kind of open to ideas, I don't think the Earth not being a ball is really a hard thing to come to terms with.
How did you reach that conclusion?
Well, so I think I might be kind of a strange case in the way that my brain works. I had already, I think, started on the path of the things that I'm told aren't necessarily true or accurate or represent reality. Even since I was little, my parents would tell me things like about how dinosaurs aren't real. They've never found like a full dinosaur skeleton. That stuff is made up they can't prove all of the things they tell me. So I was already on that path to begin with. I had never applied that necessarily to the Earth thing. That's the thing. I would apply it to other stuff. Okay, don't believe what they're telling me about this. They might be lying, or they might not be able to prove it. Or I had just never taken the step of apply that to Earth. So once it was pointed out that, hey, what they claim might not be accurate, it was super quick. It was very easy. It's just like, oh, actually, wait a minute. This guy is right. I've never experienced the curvature. I've never experienced the spinning. Instead of going from the Earth is a ball to the Earth must be flat, I went from the Earth is a ball to default of what have I personally experienced. Start from there. Start from zero, from standard, from basic, from the default position of what have I experienced. What I haven't experienced for sure is anything to do with the spherical Earth. It's never happened. What I do experience is the sun moving overhead, the stars moving overhead, the moon moving overhead, clouds move overhead, and I stay still. That's what I experience. I don't know that the Earth is flat. Obviously, it's not flat, but I don't know the shape of the Earth actually, other than what I've experienced. What I experience is that it seems to be horizontal, at least as far as I've traveled.
Are those experiences different from what you should expect to experience if the Earth was round?
Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, what's the difference in what you experienced and what you should expect to experience in a globe Earth?
It would be round. It would be a globe.
Yeah, well, I'm asking, in your experience, what exactly you think you would experience differently?
Oh, well, here, let me say it this way. I've never been on a surface that was not level and not been able to detect that.
Yeah, but
That's never happened. I can always detect if I'm not on a surface that is flat.
yeah, but what surfaces are you giving as an example? Like,
Flat ones.
no, I'm talking about the ones that aren't flat that you can detect. Oh, what examples are those?
Like a
When-
ball.
Yeah, what size of a ball are you
there's-
referring to?
It doesn't matter what size.
Oh,
If it's a ball, it literally has to start moving instantly for it to be a ball. Otherwise, or at least
Sure.
for it to be a sphere.
Sure, but
So it doesn't
I mean,
matter
if
the size. You can make it as big as you want. That doesn't actually change the logic of it.
of course it matters the size, because when we're talking about the Earth being flat or spherical, none of both sides mean perfectly spherical or perfectly flat, right? There's elevation change, right? So even flat earthers are sometimes going to say, well, it's not flat, it has elevation change, right? So there are hills, there are mountains. So of course things are going to go up and down, even if the Earth is flat, and even if the Earth is round. So when you're saying it immediately should drop down, well, not exactly, because no one's claiming it's perfectly spherical, right? So you have to take that into account.
Right.
And-
Okay. Here's the problem: is that it never does. It never drops down like that.
Oh, how did you check
Here's
it?
the primary point: is that we build houses with horizontal surfaces, okay? And we walk on horizontal surfaces by choice, by design. That's how we make them. That's how we transport ourselves, and that's what seems to be most comfortable to us. And when I'm walking on the Earth and it's horizontal, it doesn't feel any different than that. So the default position, whether you think it's globe or flat, doesn't really matter as far as the default position. The default position is automatically, it matches the things that we designed to be flat.
Right, but you gave the example that you always experience it as flat and every surface. I mean, well, the thing is, if, as we all agree, there's elevation change, right? So the floor already goes up and down a little bit naturally because, well, things aren't perfectly. Earth isn't a perfect shape. So there's a variance in the ground. And if this variance of the ground is bigger than the curvature that you would expect to see, then of course you can't experience that, right?
So if Earth isn't a perfect shape, that means it's not a ball, right?
It's not a perfect ball.
It's not a ball.
No, balls aren't. For example, if I'm playing soccer, I'm playing with a ball. Am I playing with a ball?
Okay, yeah, you're playing with a soccer ball, sure.
Yeah, well, but it's not a perfect ball. There's variance in the surface.
Okay, it's not a sphere. I guess maybe that would be a better way to put it, is that it's not a sphere.
All right.
Okay, now if you have a soccer ball and you have like a marble, you can tell the difference between those, right?
Like the size, the density, and the texture.
Just feeling the surface of them, you can tell the difference.
Sure.
Yeah, it's that easy. We design things in our lives to be horizontal, level, flat, and we walk on those things, okay? And it feels comfortable. Then we go outside and we walk on the earth, and it feels the same as that. Now, contrast that with when we design things to be balls or curved or things like that, it feels different than the flat surfaces. And when we walk outside, we don't feel that. So all of the evidence as far as experience would tell us the earth is the same as the things that we've been designing because it feels the same. We have
Well,
no...
it doesn't. The feeling changes when you're changing size. For example, if you step on a marble, that's gonna hurt, right? But if you step on a very big ball, for example, the size of a house, that's not gonna hurt your feet because it's going to accommodate the surface of your feet much better than a marble. Even though they could be both equally spherical, your feet is not going to experience them as the same way. So the size does matter.
You're not actually on the marble. That's the problem. When you're that small, you're not actually on the marble. You're over and around the marble.
I'm not sure if I'm following.
The marble is too small at that point for you. It's not a good analogy. You're not actually on the marble when you step on the marble.
Oh, exactly. So
part of you is on and over and around the marble, so you're not on the marble.
So
really.
Yeah, you're giving examples of things that are curved, but they're way smaller than the Earth would be if the Earth was round. So of course they're going to feel different, and the fact that the Earth feels as it's flat doesn't prevent that from being something else, because the feeling changes as the scale changes.
It seems like you're missing the point. You can claim all day long that with enough scale, a ball would feel like a flat surface. Okay, you can claim that all day. What you would need to show to prove that is, give me a ball that I can walk on that feels like walking on Earth. If you can do that, then we can talk about how the Earth might be so big that it feels flat.
But that would require a ball as big as Earth, wouldn't it?
That whether or not you can make something big enough to prove your claim is your problem, not mine.
Well, actually,
Here's what I actually have.
But that disproves you, because
it doesn't disprove me.
It does.
You're making a claim that if it was big enough, it would feel flat. Okay, that's a claim you can make. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to make any claims about the shape of the Earth. I don't know what it is. Here's what I'm going to go with. I experience level, flat, horizontal when we build things, and it feels a certain way. When I walk outside,
yeah, I get that.
It's exactly the same as that level, flat, horizontal thing that we built. Since they feel the same, and I have no experience on anything else, it must be the same until proven otherwise.
That's the claim that I'm objecting to. The must be the same isn't a reasonable conclusion.
You're forgetting that. That's a very important part. Just like unicorns don't exist until...
Let me elaborate. You before made the claim that we do experience differently than what we should expect to see if the Earth was round. But then now you just admitted that if the Earth... You said that if the Earth being as big as it is, it could feel flat, then I have to demonstrate that. So you're not denying that, right? So if you're not denying that, then you can make the conclusion that it just did.
Would feel flat. I never said that. What I said was, if you think that's true, that's your claim. If you think that's true, then what you need to provide to prove it would be a ball that I can walk on that feels as flat as Earth. If you can provide that, then we can talk about whether or not the Earth is so big it feels flat. Until then, it must not, because there's no evidence to support that.
So you're making your hypothesis unfalsifiable.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because you are requiring me.
Falsifiable.
No, let me explain why.
Too big, or it is too big to show me that. That's you're imposing your model. You're saying.
Let me explain.
Earth is too big to show.
You have to allow me to elaborate. You have to allow me to elaborate. So, when you say that I need to find a ball as big as Earth,
I didn't say that.
Well, isn't that what I must do to prove my point?
No, I didn't say anything about it having to be the size of Earth. You just have to find a ball that I can walk on that feels as flat as Earth.
Yeah, which should be as big as Earth.
That's your problem. I don't know if it has to be that or not. You're making the claim it has to be that.
That's very simple. That's a very simple mathematical self-evident claim, because the rate as you increase the radius of a circle or a sphere, right? The same distance over the surface becomes less and less curved as you increase the radius.
That's false. Yes, that's not how a sphere works.
Yes, it is. Oh, what do you mean? So if I
now, by the way, aside from what you were claiming earlier, which is that the Earth isn't a sphere, but if you're going to claim it's a sphere, you have no argument whatsoever. A sphere literally has to start curving down immediately for it to be a sphere.
Wait, don't go away from your claim. Let me bring you back to your claim. So what I said is that when you increase the radius of a sphere, a certain area over the surface is going to be less and less curved, and you denied that, right?
Right. It can't be.
So let me prove you. So, say we have a sphere
before you try to prove it, let me explain why that has to.
No. Let me finish my point. Yeah, let me
is absolutely impossible for a sphere. It can't be a sphere if there's a flat spot.
I didn't say there's a flat spot. Stop running away. Let me elaborate the point.
Eventually it would be flat.
Let me just prove what I just said. So if I have a sphere, right, of the radius 1, what's the surface? Or let's make it a circle so it's easier. Like, what's the circumference of a circle of radius 1? It's 2 pi, right? So half of that circle is pi. And that's an arc of 180 degrees. If I double the radius, what's the circumference now? It's 4 pi, right? But now 4 pi is 1/4. Now 1 pi is half of the circumference, which means it's no longer 180 degrees of an arc. It's now 90 degrees of an arc, so it's less curved. I mean, that's pure math. It's easy to visualize. I don't know how you can even deny it.
What I'm saying is that it's not reality. You can't do it. If you can show me in our physical reality what you're talking about, a sphere becoming so big that there's suddenly less curve, that there's a flat.
That wasn't a claim.
Then you can show me that, and then I can.
No, that wasn't a claim. That wasn't a claim. I never claimed. Let me finish.
I'm not going to believe you.
Math isn't La La Land, man. You're menstruing me. Oh, right. I forgot the word. Strawman. Yeah, thank you. You're strawmanning what I said. I never said that you can have as big as a radius that the surface is going to be flat. Never said that. I said it becomes less round. That's all I said, and you denied it, and that's very easy to prove.
You said the thing that is a precursor to that. You said that as it gets bigger, there will be less and less curve, which means eventually, if you make it big enough, there would be so little curve that the curve is now gone. There would have to be.
Yes,
no, it's not gone.
That's called an infinite radius.
Yeah, you have to
That's
be infinite to
infinite radius.
Yeah, which isn't what we're claiming about the Earth. It's just big enough that the curvature is small enough that you can detect just by looking at it or walking on it.
It can't actually happen, right? So
It can
happen,
because you detecting
infinite radius
no
happen,
you
right?
you are not an infinitely precise tool.
Okay. It's not going to- at least something that simple. There's no point in talking. An infinite
What?
radius can't happen. It's not reality. When you're ready,
I'm not claiming that. Stop
we
straw
agree.
manning. That's just a straw man. Never claimed that. No one's claiming that. Well, I'll leave the fun to Rohit. So yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it's getting late here. Just anyways, yeah.
Okay, all right. Still there, Bob?
hello.
Hello. It's my shift now. I'm on the clock.
Okie dokie. I think Jeremy was talking to me earlier. He indicated that Geo, I guess, lost power, and he's possibly going to come back and still do something if he gets his power back. But I don't know how that's going. He hasn't, as far as I've heard, I don't think I've heard Geo pop back in yet. So
No. Do you understand that an infinite radius is a flat Earth?
no, I don't understand that. That's ridiculous.
Okay, but do you understand as a sphere has a bigger and bigger radius, the flatter it becomes?
It can't if it's a sphere.
What do you mean? Yeah, it gets flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter, right? But it never actually gets flat. Right?
It can't. If it's a sphere, it has to start curving immediately. It can't become flatter and
Yeah,
flatter
it
and
does.
flatter.
No, the rate of curvature, it's like at the moment, the rate of curvature is like 8 inches per mile squared, right? With a radius of 3959 miles. If you have a bigger radius, that amount of curvature is less. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you keep increasing the radius, the less curvature there is.
No, you're talking about the rate of curvature, not the amount
Yes.
of curvature.
How do you quantify the amount of curvature?
I didn't try to quantify the amount of curvature.
That's what we're doing, right? If you increase the radius,
I'm
the less
saying that it
curvature
still
there is.
has. If the claim is that the sphere loses curvature as it gets larger, that means eventually it'll be so large that it's flat. That can't happen. That can't be a reality. There's no point in talking
Right.
about it. Literally
And
can't
that's
be
why
reality.
that's why I say it happens at infinity, right?
So it doesn't
Infinity.
happen. Is what I'm
Right.
actually saying is it.
Oh dear. Hmm. So infinity doesn't happen, right? There's no such thing as an infinite radius. What we usually say when we're talking in those terms is we say as the radius approaches infinity. Sorry, I'm not having a separate conversation here.
Right, it's a thing that you couldn't actually prove. You can't show me the infinite radius where it's flat to prove that that actually takes place. And I've never seen a ball so large that it isn't a ball anymore and has flat parts. So until you can display one of those two things happening, it's not reality, and I don't need to discuss it.
Okay. As long as we get the general principle. But as the radius increases, the curvature decreases.
I am totally okay with you believing that. That's fine.
Okay. This is
absolutely
just mathematics right now, right? We're just talking mathematics, that's all right now.
That's fine too.
Okay. Is Bob Dole actually still alive? Or did he die like recently? Rings a bell. He died recently.
Weeks, I think there was news that he had died. So I think that is the case.
Yes, 5th of December. There we go. And yeah, here he is on Discord. Interesting. Conspiracy theory.
I told some guys on Xbox I played. I told them not to believe, like, basically the salacious headlines. Rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Gold. Holy shit, he's pretty old. "98 years old."
He was 98.
Yep.
Did you say he was 98?
You're cutting out a bit.
That's getting up there. I think it seems like for some reason I'm thinking like someone had mentioned or I'd read that he, like some sort of, I'm not sure, maybe not war
Keep
hero.
cutting out. Never seems to me. Oh, it's you.
Was there something about him being some sort of a, I guess veteran maybe, but some sort of a war hero or a war veteran or something?
Was he a war hero? I don't know. I thought he was
I
just a
don't know.
public servant for his entire life.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not.
Senator from 1969. House of Representatives 1961. County Attorney 1950. Yeah, he didn't serve in the military, I think. Member of the Kansas House of Reps from 1951, which would have made him 28. So I suppose you could serve in the military there, couldn't you? Oh, there we go. He did, yeah, in the Army, 1942 to 1948. Made captain. Well done. Purple Heart.
All right.
Hey.
You're in one of those big ones, then.
Yeah. Purple Heart. Oh, critical thing. Hold on. Oh, he's on the flight. So he's still a flat earther, Bob?
Sure, why not?
Hey, Jeremy, have you checked your DMs yet?
He's been on mute for a little bit. I don't remember. It seemed like he indicated he was going to be listening, so I don't know if he was going to go do something or he's busy. I'm not sure. Maybe.
I should probably do something as well. Just feel like lying in bed though. Could go into gyms, have a fight with someone.
Bob, quick question. Let's pretend the Earth is a globe, for starters. Then I'm flying in an airplane. Now, I get up to 30,000 feet. I'm going, I have a horizontal at 30,000 feet. I need to drop 8 inches after the first mile to stay at 30,000 feet. Right? And the next mile, how much do I have to drop from that original horizontal to still be at 30,000 feet? Is it the globe curve math, or would it be just another 8? I just need to drop another 8 inches, right? And now I'm at the same level. But is that from the first horizontal? Or?
Let's see.
You know what I'm saying? If you're flying an airplane, I go a mile, I drop 8 inches. I'm now still at 30,000 feet. If I drop another 8 inches, I'm still at 30,000 feet, but that would be from a new horizontal. I don't.
Well, yeah. So you would have to keep dropping the same amount because you're trying to stay within the same distance of the Earth. So you would have to keep moving the same amount to stay within the same distance of the Earth, but it would be a different distance from your original point than to the Earth. So as you're flying, you have to drop your 8 inches and then drop 8 inches and then drop 8 inches because your reference point is the Earth. And so you're always trying to stay the same amount from the Earth. So it's always going to be the same amount that you're dropping. But whenever you compare, like, let's say, 100 miles later, if you compare where you're at to your original point, that's going to be more than the 8 inches. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
At least I think that's how it would work.
Like, even if I'm referencing the first horizontal, on the second mile, did you drop like more than 8 inches from it, or?
If in reference to the first one, yes. In reference to the Earth, no. I'm pretty sure that's how it would work. Is that the reference point being the Earth, it would always just be the same number. Reference point to your starting point, that's going to get bigger and bigger, I think, as you go along.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, Ruhif might have been right on that. You fuck with crypto at all, Bob? Did I ask you that earlier?
Hello?
I hear you.
Oh, what were you saying?
I said, do you do crypto at all? Anything with crypto or no?
Not a lot. I have a couple of them.
If you're looking for a way to make an easy 50 cents a day, hit me up.
I mean, maybe.
It doesn't. You don't have to invest anything in it. It's just I have a spare cell phone that I watch YouTube ads in, and it every few hours it'll ask, "Hey, are you still watching?" And then I just go hit yes, and I usually make between like 30 and 40 cents a day on that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there's another thing I do where I make 20 cents a day on. That's totally passive. I have 2 devices, and I let this app run, and it like uses like your extra bandwidth or something. And I usually get like 20, 25 cents a day on that. It's just an easy 50 cents a day. I mean, it's nothing to break the bank with. I wouldn't quit your day job or anything, but
Right. Yeah,
an
my
extra
wife,
few bucks a month.
she would do stuff like that where they would have tasks for her to complete and stuff, and she would do that, and she would make a couple extra bucks when she wanted to get something. And sometimes involved like, watch this ad, and then or like, and it would pop up sometimes for one of the ones, are you still watching? And then I think or something like that. So
Oh, no doubt.
Maybe not.
Bitcoin withdrawal a while ago. I'm still waiting for it on this one app that gives me 20 cents a day. I've been doing it for a while, so I finally got enough to. It was like $37. You only need 25 to cash out, by like $37 in it. So I figured, fuck it, let me do a. This is completed. Here we go. Let's check my Bitcoin wallet, see if it came through. That was easy, $37. I literally did nothing.
Yeah, free money's free money, right?
Yeah, it's literally just totally passive, that one. Oh yeah, I got it. $37. Nice. Fucking awesome. I wish you could have more than 2 of them going. You can only have 2 going. I might go set this up at my mom's house. Wish they had shit like this when I was a little kid. Dude, I'd be set right now. Like, I could take like a little kid, say you have a little 10, 11-year-old that you could get interested in this. You could have them making, possibly $100 or more passively every month by the time they're 18, which is not, again, it's not like I don't need to work money. That's like, I have a few extra bucks every month money, but still.
Someone
It could be a lot.
Might have some moral qualms with that, maybe. There might be some people who think that that's at least questionable.
No, I mean, just a little kid. Little kids do that now. There's little kids that got more money than me and you combined that fucking got busy off crypto. It's good to get them interested in finances at an early age now. They teach you stuff like that in school, accounting, how to balance a checkbook and shit. I don't know.
I'm not sure that would be the problem. I think that saying, hey, I'm going to teach your kid about finance probably wouldn't raise many flags, at least not enough to worry about necessarily. But it's the part where you're basically saying you would like to trade their children's time for your profit.
No, not for me personally, for them. For them, like for the kid. You know what I'm saying? If the kid was interested, say you went to a kid and you're like, listen, do you want to be making
farm of phone games or whatever?
Yeah, this isn't like some Chinese prison encampment where we got them chiseling rocks or nothing. Just, if they were interested, obviously, if they're not interested, my own kids aren't interested, so they're not. I just don't do it with them. But that'd be neat if somebody's kids were interested in something like that. You could have them making a little, $100, $200 a month passively, maybe more. I mean, it could honestly be $1,000 a month passively by the time they're 18, depending on what happens with and what they invest in and shit. Like some of the stuff I was invested in, if the kids got into it, they would have been fucking loaded right now. They would have been making hundreds of dollars a month.
Nice.
Yo, one of the free things, there's this free Bitcoin faucet I used to do. It's like you go in once an hour, they let you do it once an hour, and you just roll, and you get a little tiny piece of a Bitcoin. Well, a long time ago, they keep it in money though. Like it equals like 2 cents a day, or 3 or 4 cents a day or something. If you do it like 10 times a day, right? You get like 3 or 4 cents. However, this place has been going for like 5 years or something ridiculous, which is like 50 years. It's like dog years in crypto. Anyways, before the 2 cents an hour you could have got now is worth like $100 an hour. So
Nice.
like you would have had like tens of thousands of dollars in crypto, and that site pays interest. I make like 30 cents a day interest on that site from the crypto they get
Okay.
from the Bitcoin. So like they would have had a nice, even if that's all they did, that would have been a nice passive income if anyone had been doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Like at this point, it's kind of too late because even if Bitcoin does a 10x, you know, you would have been making, instead of 2 cents a day, 20 cents a day. But before, it would have been like all the little free shit would have been crazy. I have thousands of Doge I got from faucets, and that ended up being like thousands of dollars.
Did you sell that off, or do you still got some of that?
I sold some. I took a couple grand worth when it was up.
Because I know at some point I think it got up to 70 or 80, and it hasn't been really even close.
Yeah,
to
no,
that.
that's when I sold it. I made like 2,500 on it 1 week or something. I was like, yo, Dogecoin's banging right now. I was like, there's no way I'm not. One guy I know had $500,000 worth at one point. I was like, dude, sell 100 G's right now, bro. I'm like, it's dumb high. He wouldn't do it. He was waiting to have $1 million worth. I'm like, oh, come on, bro.
Well,
I'm like, I told.
Maybe it'll get there. Maybe it will.
And he got it all for nothing too. He mined it. He mined it for years. So he basically got his shit for free too. He didn't like buy it.
Yeah. See, I would have probably sold some just to be like, all right, let's get a little bit of comfort money here, and then leave the rest to see where it goes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, bro. Like you got that's pay your house off, buy new cars, pay student loan off money right there.
Yeah,
I'm not saying cash it all out, but like, yo, take 100 grand or something real quick. Get a nice little 100 grand, buffer. That's got to be a year's salary at least, even if when you're making good money.
I wonder what's going to happen. Like, it seems like there's just like all kinds of new cryptos. Like, and it doesn't seem like that's stopping either. It seems like there's more and more and more. And I'm just wondering what's going to happen. Like, I'm not sure it makes sense for us to have that many different ones. And I don't know, like, at some point, a bunch of them have to just not be worth something, right? Maybe not. Maybe there's enough people on Earth to actually make all of them worth something. Or worth enough to keep them around and stuff. I don't know. Maybe not.